Hi guys, it's Trisha from Lufkin, Texas. We're going to do an online tutorial today on inserting images in the Cricut Design Space and altering your text. You've got to open your Cricut Design Space. Hopefully you've already done that because you've got a Cricut. If you don't, it's time to buy it. The Cricut Maker will be out on Sunday. Once you open it, because I double clicked on it twice, I've got two, but here is the Cricut Maker ready for you. Okay, I'm going to have a link in my video on where you can purchase that, and all you'll have to do is click on it and it will take you to where you need to be. Oh, Cricut Design Space is what we're going to do right now though. We're going to do this project right here called Faith Mountains. And I tried doing it a while ago and I had some audio issues. So we're recording again. So we're going to start from total scratch and do a new project that's going to end up looking like this or very similar. There it is. Introducing the Cricut Maker. That's what you need. August 20th. Okay, guys. First thing we want to do is insert that image. Now, I didn't say anything about uploading an image, but if you had some uploaded some mountains that you wanted to put in here, you could. But we're going to do this not as a print and cut, but strictly as a cut. So I'm just going to take one of the images from Access. Anytime it has the little A up here, that is an image that you get with your Access. If you're not a member of that, just click on the link that'll be provided for you and join us. Now, we're looking for mountains. So I'm typing in the word mountain. And then I'm going to click on search, or I could have just hit the enter button. Ooh, which ones do I want to use? Well, you already know which ones. That's kind of cute. Never know, I can change my mind. But no, I'm going to go back to this one. That one would be good too. But I like the being able to have some space. And it is a image that is provided to us through Access. Now, if I had chose this one and then changed my mind, or vice versa, and had two of them down here, I could either insert both of them, or I can click on the X of the one I don't want, and it will not import into the design space. I just scratched my nose, guys, and I thought to myself, I'm so glad you can't see me. It was itching. Okay, I've got to remember now that the space that I'm working in for the project is, I don't want more than a 12 by 9. So I can make these mountains a little bit bigger. And if I unlocked them, I could make them do all sorts of different things, like be taller and all that. We're going to do that just for teaching purposes. Did y'all see how I did that? I unlocked it. It was locked like this. I'm unlocking it, and then I'm changing the shape of what is there. Another thing I'd like to point out is that when this was made, they were nice enough to leave all these other things in there. so that if we wanted to put it back, like right there, I added another color to the cut, and we no longer can see what is behind there because we have another layer in there. But I wanted the original, so I'm putting it right back. I like that space there, and I like the openness there that the Cricut is going to cut out for me. And that's the best part, is that Cricut's going to cut it out for me. I don't have to get an X-Acto knife out and do all this by myself. Okay, now we're going to add Faith Can Move Mountains. Now I could type it all out in one, no, like this. But then how can I reposition this? The only thing I can really do is resize, turn. I can ungroup and regroup and all that. But instead of doing all that, what I'm going to do is do one word by itself. Or I'm going to do it in pieces. Okay, Faith is going to be done. Then we're going to add Can Move. Of course, that's going to be a lot smaller. And since I've typed it on top of it, but I'm going to move it over here to the side right now, just for teaching purposes. Just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, we're going to do mountains now. Same thing, moving it over to the side. And it's Matthew 5:20, I think. And I should know that. But my memory's not that great. And I'm putting it over to the side. One thing I know for sure, this is going to be real small. Oh, there. That's the very reason that I'm putting all of it over to the side, guys, while I work with it. Just till I get it the text that I want it. So that's going to be pretty small. Okay. Faith. Let's change this font, guys. We're leaving the mountains just like they are. We've already adjusted them to what space we want. We can always change it later. Let's go through these. And I cheated a little bit. I wrote down the fonts that I had used before. And I could scroll through here all day long. But you know what I'm going to do instead, since I wrote them down? It's going to take me right to it. Because I wrote down the font name. I could never have memorized that. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is with my brain. Okay, I should have wrote down the sizes, but I didn't. We could actually make this a little bit bigger. Just play around with it a little bit. This right here, the Can Move, is going to fit right here when I get done with it. Y'all believe I can do that without tilting it? Even though that would look kind of cool. Let's go over here. The Can Move was A Perfect Day. So you know, and you really want to get it into the font that you're happy with before you start sizing, because once you start sizing it around and playing with it, it's going to change. You know, I could take the time to fit it in here, but if it's not the right size and I change fonts, that could increase it and I'd still have to be doing it over and over again. Okay, can move. You know what? I like that idea. See, not everything's planned the way it goes. But I did like the way I'd stepped it too. So we're going to get it back to where I can step it. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to hit return. And then I'm going to move it over a little bit. Now it's the font putting all that spacing in here. If I need to change that, I can go right up here to line spacing. And it's going to change it. Oh, gotta watch when you do that. I'm not ready. I don't actually want to do any grouping. We'll talk about that in another video. And the reason why I'm not doing it, everybody, you know, groups and I don't want to do that with this. But it's still going to move those mountains. So we're going to do this. We're going to place it about where it needs to be. Then we're going to move them here. How's that? It still wants to grab that mountain. I don't want to grab that mountain. And that's basically where I want it. It's close. Okay, let's do mountains. Mountain, I used, what was the name of that one? I know it ended in Pro. So if I type in Pro, it's going to pull all these up and I'll recognize it. There it is. Okay, you can do it that way, remembering things. Okay, I definitely want that bigger, but I don't want it to take up so much space away from everything else. So I'm going to adjust the spacing by changing letter space. Now when it does, it squeezes from the right hand side. So this little tip that I've got hanging out over here is still hanging out. So I've got to make some adjustments either up or down, however I want to do it. Okay, but that's more like I want it. Then of course Matthew. We want to keep it small, so we need to watch our lettering on it. And I did it in Once Upon. Now you can play around with all of your fonts, but you know, make sure that it's something that, and I'll show you in a second. It's still going back because we've already chosen that one. I'll type in something else to show you, but let's move our Matthew while it's on my brain. You ever had something get on your brain, you got to do it and get it done? I'm leaving it locked together. If I unlocked it, then I'd be moving every digit and letter separately. That's how you make circles, unless you go to PicMonkey and do it. PicMonkey has a program that you can make an arch and a circle in. But you can do it on here also. Another tutorial along the way. Okay, here all I have to do is click the circle, put it at the angle that I want it. Of course, I've got to move it now over to where I want it. And I want it right about there. Okay, that looks pretty much like the first one. I'm going to go ahead and save right now while it's on my mind. And I'm going to save over Faith Mountain too, because I don't want that one. That was for demonstration purposes anyway. Now, notice all of this is way down from the line still, and that's fine because of the way that I'm going to print it. Notice I'm not grouping everything together because it's all different colors. I'm going to rearrange some stuff, and I want to make sure that I'm able to rearrange it. So I'm not welding. You know, I could go in here and I could weld Faith and attach it to the mountain and all that. I don't need to do that with what I'm doing. So I'm not worried about it. The one thing I want to do though is change the color. I have some scrap copper aluminum that I'm going to print this and Matthew in. Now notice I did that by clicking on the words on this size. Okay, and notice it didn't change that here, but when I go to print, it's going to show up. Those two are on the same color page. And why it's not doing that, I have no idea. Okay. Now, the can move in the mountains, I have another scrap piece. And instead of clicking on those because they're on top of the mountains, I'm going to click over here to change the color. I'm going to do them in a dark gray. That changed mountains. Up here, can move. I'll click right here. Dark castle gray. I could get a gray from down here also. The color here is just so that when I go to print it, cut it. I'm sorry, I keep saying print. When I go to cut it, it's going to be on the same page. So I'm putting them on the same color. Your mountain is still going to be the two, the tan and the brown. And that's just what they show up here. I'm going to click save just because it helps to save things along the way so you don't lose them. You never know. Computers crash. This way you're going to have it in that cloud, that wonderful Cricut cloud. Okay, we're ready to cut. Almost. Let's click on Make It. It's going to think for a minute. And I don't know how well y'all can see it. I can't see it that well. But that's a little over 9 inches. I am not sure that piece that I'm got is big, long enough. So you know what I need to do to make sure? I need to go back. And I'm just going to make this a little bit shorter by taking the letter spacing in. Not much. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. That's taking some of the width away, the length of the word away. Okay, I'm going to do line spacing also with that one, just because I think it will look better. Okay, Now let's go back. Hit save. A lot of us don't remember to do that. You can Control S also. Your shortcuts for your computer are the same as they are in Cricut and other programs. Now what I'm trying to do, because I know this piece that I've got, if I move this down just a little bit, I can move it over, and there we've got it, shorter than 9 inches. Okay, and yet the E and the M are not touching, so they're not going to cut into each other. So we're good there. Okay, now the copper faith, it's not 9 inches long. So what I'm going to do here is tweak it around and put it right there. I know I have more than 2 inches in width on that scrap piece. Whoop, didn't mean to move that. That's okay. Faith can move a lot of things. How'd I slip that in on you? Okay, I see what's happening here. Look, this one, why it didn't change a while ago. So we're going to go back. I'm not going to pay $4.99 just to print Matthew. We are going to change Matthew to a access one, that once upon a time. Well, let's see. Quick Brown Fox. That's an access. Now that made it a little bit bigger. Remember what I was talking about. So we can either scrunch it up more, or I could have just moved it, the whole thing up a little bit longer. But that's better. And again, we're going to hit save. Better safe than sorry. Okay. Oh, I forgot to change color. And it's still telling me $4.99. Is lipstick? I thought I checked all that. Oh well, let's go fix this to the right color. Didn't change it here, so maybe I didn't get the right one. One of these. Okay, that looks really too small. Don't like that. I don't want to spend much time on this. So right now, we just want to grab one that we know is okay. And we got to find out why it's charging us $4.99. Okay, better safe than sorry. Save. I know that's taking up your time, but if you've ever lost everything you worked on for an hour, then you would always save. Okay, got that fixed. Now we're going to check on this one. Still say, okay, something in here has changed. And it must not be this one. So, well, I'm not paying $4.99 for that font. Sorry guys, I'm frugal. Oh, it says $4.99 over here too, so it could be one of these others. Let's go back. I know it's not the mountains unless they just put them on. I made the original one that you saw on my iPhone one night, like at 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, the Can Move. What was the name of that one? Oh, Perfect Day. It's an Access. The Mountain is a, where did we find that? It's an Access single layer cut. I didn't check that on this one if it was a single layer cut or not, guys. Lipstick lettering. Oh, there it is, the favorite one. That's okay. We're changing it. That was my favorite too. That's okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't print that other one. It would have charged me. I wanted something cursive looking. No, not that one. Brush strip. No, too swirly. I wonder if that just changed. Because that's, well, it's not good to swear. So anyway, neither here nor there. We're fixing it. We're going to make it something nice. That's not bad. Might have changed that position now for sure. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to change the size a little bit. Because remember I told you it couldn't be any larger than 12 by 8. And that's why I kept my mountains where they were. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's go back and fix our color over here. Get it the color we want. And let's check that this is a single print. Single layer cut. Okay, we're good to go. Save. Now we're going to make it. Again, I've got to adjust this one. Okay. Did you know you could do that? I'm too frugal not to. You know, I could put it this right here and keep it the same way, or I could turn it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it. That way, when I go to put it on, I can cut it off a little bit easier that way. It'll still be separate. Okay, and we know our mountain, both the the brown and the tan are good. So, you want to watch me do it all the way through? Okay, then I'm got to switch this off. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And we'll let them Bluetooth together. Okay, and I'll video these, piece them together. Or I could just turn the computer that way and let it start filming from the laptop. But I'm not. So I'll piece it together and you will see it from start to finish. No missing areas. Okay? If you have questions along the way, just be sure and put them in the comments. I'll make sure that the links to the new Cricut Maker and probably to the foil that I'm using, the adhesive foil, and anything else I can think of. Like August is free shipping month. So if you need extra supplies during this month, now is the time to do it. But I will put all those links in the YouTube description. If y'all have any questions, just comment. Make sure you subscribe to my pages and hit the little bell so that when I go live, which isn't that often, but when I do on YouTube, then you'll be able to join in and we can chat a while. Okay, I will continue this in just a few moments.